Yep, and here we are right here on WKRB 90.3 FM. So this is about to be a whole new talk, real interesting because we have a special guest in the building. Okay, so let's get ready and do this. Lights, camera, action. Okay, so for one and for starters, I want to go ahead and give a wonderful round of applause to our new guest who's right here, Professor Professor Mintz. We got Tommy Mintz in the building, okay? Okay, and now Thomas, he's an advisor of the photography club at Kingsborough Community College, and his portraits range from black and white, digital photography, etc. And we also have my guest here, Ethan, in the building too, who's also more on the modern edge when it comes to photography. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see the opposing views when it comes to photography in that aspect. But before we go ahead and chop it up, Thomas, can you just go ahead and tell everyone about yourself?
Sure, thank you. So nice to be here. Such a fun space in this building to be in. I'm the Associate Professor of Photography in the Art Department. I've been here since 2007. So you can do the math on that whenever this comes out. And I am the faculty advisor to the photography club, and that's here what I'm here to talk about mostly today, but I'm happy to talk about anything.
Okay, perfect.
So, okay. Ethan, you interested in the photo club at all?
Kind of. It's interesting. It's an interesting thing to do. Yes, I do take good photos of like surroundings. Good sunset or trees or whatnot. If the lighting's good and whatnot, then yeah, I'll take a good photo.
Do you use an actual camera or do you?
No, I use my phone.
You use your phone?
Yeah.
Okay, what type of phone?
Samsung S22.
Okay. Do you think it's better than iPhone cameras?
Yes.
You think so?
Very much.
Quick question, Professor Tommy. Would you ever take photos, do photography on your phone?
Every day.
Every day?
I think it's the camera I use most often, unfortunately. Or fortunately, it's there in my pocket. The best camera is the one you have. I like the smallest possible
So do you think Apple iPhone cameras are better?
No.
You don't? Okay.
No.
Okay, you think you wanted something.
If
okay.
I'm taking a real picture, I'll use a
like a DSLR or something like that?
DSLR, exactly. Gotcha. So what I normally shoot with is a big, heavy camera. If I'm out photographing, I have my camera out and it's around my neck. I'm holding it in my hand. But, every day if I'm walking to school or, on the subway, I have my phone. And, yeah, the camera is so easy to use. I recommend comfortable with it and understanding lighting. You're just talking about lighting.
Yeah, lighting.
Lighting makes a huge difference in phone photography. And you'll see a huge difference if you're shooting daylight, under daylight, or at night, or indoors. There's a lot less light at night and indoors. And your camera has to use, what we call a different ISO, like a much higher ISO indoors or at night, and that gives you a picture that's not as high quality.
Interesting. Yeah, I was going to actually go elaborate a little bit more on the specs when it comes to photography because not a lot of people know too much about it. I mean, I have an iPhone. Most I know about cameras is probably like the cinematic option when it comes to iPhone and maybe slow-mo here and there, black and white. But you were speaking about how adjusting the camera quality based off the light, the luminance, should I say. So if it's dark outside, adjusting it from there. If it's bright outside, adjusting it from there. Do you prefer taking pictures at night or during the day? Like, what do you feel more creative?
Sorry. So I photograph mostly during the day.
Okay.
On the street, mostly in Manhattan.
Okay.
And really, I'm not talking about like my faculty advisory of the photography club business here. As an artist, what I do is I create time-lapse collages. So I'll take a sequence of photographs at a location over a period of time, and then I run those pictures through a small program I wrote in Python. I don't know if you code. And
you wrote the program, nice.
Yeah, I asked all my programmer friends for 10 years to write it for me, and they were all too busy. And so I got a book and I learned to code.
I love that for you.
And I wrote one program, and I just keep revising. I keep iterating it, and I use it in different ways. But what it does is it compares 2 pixels, and if they're different, 2 pixels in one location, you compare 2 pictures, and every pixel is compared in each location. And if it's different, it gets layered on top. So it creates a collage that I'm not in control of. Okay. It has a very glitchy kind of computer aesthetic, making choices that I never would. It's not AI.
But does it have a bit of like a time-lapse kind of visual appeal? So you're taking photos of the same area, and every second it's like something different happening. It's getting
somebody
like this time
moves.
lapse. Okay, interesting.
Change.
And it's just photos. It's not like an actual like the video. That's dope. I love it. I've heard about it. I think I've seen something similar. I don't think I have the tenacity or the creativity, such as yourself, to do such a thing. But it's something I'm willing to try. It's dope. Would you ever do something like that, Ethan?
Taking photos?
Yeah, like a time lapse with photos. Yeah.
Personally, I don't know what a time lapse is. Sorry, I don't know much about photography. I just know how to just take photos of certain things, whatnot. But I got a question. Would you mostly, when you go to the city, right? You said you go to Manhattan. Do you take mostly photos of like buildings, like the buildings, how the sun glamours, or like people, or like, like parks and whatnot?
So it's a great question. So what I like to do is I find an interesting location. It's mostly about the buildings, or a park location with the buildings in the background. I'm very interested in areas or views that are temporary, like construction. Creates these views that are maybe open for a few months, and then the building goes up and it's changed. So I like photographing in those places, and then I just wait around and then I photograph people as they pass.
So you like that city life kind of photography, and you said in Manhattan. You in Manhattan? Like you currently in Manhattan?
Yes.
Okay.
Born and raised.
Born and raised. Oh, nice. I live in Manhattan now, and you commute from there to here to Brooklyn to go to work. Crazy commute.
Yeah.
What part?
Got
East
a lot
side?
of reading done.
West side?
Chelsea.
Okay, you're on the east side.
West.
The west side. Okay, sorry, west side. Yeah, I'm from DC originally. I'm still kind of get acquainted with the NYC life, but I live in the Manhattan area, but I'm here in Brooklyn.
Spend time on the B train getting here.
Nice. So would you prefer? I mean, I understand like you live most of your life, and not all your life, in New York City. So you got accustomed to like the landscapes and the skyscrapers of the buildings in that crazy city. Would you ever do anything within like a woodland area, like trees, the scenery, plants, birds, ants, spiders, things like that? Just kind of go out in nature and take a lot of nature shots?
Yeah. Absolutely. And in fact, in the very beginning of my current body of work, of creating collages, I look back to when I was photographing in film and would collage things by hand, maybe cutting things out, and then a little later I'd scan the film and put it together in Photoshop by hand. And at that point I was photographing all sorts of things, including like squirrels and their multiple spots as they jump and run, and you get to see like many squirrels. I'm not the first person to do this. There's photographers in the 1800s like Eugene Atget and Jules Etienne Marais, who are 2 photographers in the late 1800s who are doing time-lapse photography. Time-lapse is when you take multiple pictures and you
at once, right?
Well, one after another after another.
Like stop motion.
Yes.
Is that where
the opposite?
sorry.
Okay. Yeah.
Is that when the camera goes does a bunch of clicks or something like that? Because
when it's like
flashing.
Slow clicks, one and then another.
Oh.
And then another.
Okay, so pretty dope. So I'm loving everything that you're speaking about, and like photography alone is a vast topic. I'm just kind of curious. Let's go ahead and speak about your club for a second. Okay, let's get a little bit more to that, and what can the listeners and students here at Kingsborough College can understand and take away from the photography club?
So the photography club has both digital and analog resources. We have computers and cameras and a darkroom and the chemicals that go along with the darkroom and all the different things that you need to develop film,
right?
And then enlarge your film into photographic print, black and white. It hasn't changed in decades, right? This is the same process that I learned when I was in high school and elementary school, after school. Film.
Okay.
And Yeah.
So these are
So we
things
do
that
that
students
photo
can
club,
learn
yeah.
in the club.
So the
Hands-on.
club has access to that. They learn in the class. If you come to Photography 1, it's actually called Darkroom Photography 1. You learn how to expose film in an old camera, click and wind,
Right.
and, do all the hands-on stuff with exposure control, focus, aperture, shutter speed. There's things that are kind of behind the scenes in our current cameras, but still exist. So you really
Nice.
learn how the camera works. And Photography Club includes a lot of students from photo class because they want to have more time to work in the darkroom.
Right.
There's many students that join Photo Club that are not in photo class and want to just have access to, well, each other, really. That's kind of the community. We have talks that we do about each other's work. We go on field trips to museums. We just hang out and talk about cameras and pictures and do fun things with them. We have a button making machine where we cut holes, and so we have a printer. We can print and cut holes in the prints and make buttons out of that. And
Very nice.
We have fun with that kind of thing.
The pictures are so sharp. The quality is amazing. It's like I can actually touch every item, person that you have put there.
So these prints and these boards were put together by another photo club member a few years ago. And the prints are made on a 4x6 printer that we use all the time in photo club.
You mind if I just see one of those?
Yeah, you just print actually directly from your phone on these printers these days.
This
they
is
have a
pretty dope. That's
Wi-Fi hotspot, and you just
Wi-Fi.
you just connect to that and then print.
Oh,
directly.
you're talking about the printer. Oh.
Yeah, it's called a
Interactive.
Canon
Nice.
selfie.
I like when they have faces on the like an eagle or a bird. Interesting. It's pretty nice.
Thank you.
Oh, you're talking about these buttons. These like
Just-
the pins, right?
Mm-hmm. And then we often, we'll do fun things with what we've cut out.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So I noticed that you said, you made mention that most of the club members are from photography class. Now, I'm assuming, which I'm pretty sure it is, that the photography club is open to any student who's interested in learning about photography.
100%. And I think I might have misstated that most of the members are from the class. I'd say most of the members have taken the class
Okay, gotcha.
and come back semester after semester to hang out and use the dark room and talk and chat photo and
So it's not like an inclusive thing. I mean, it's not like
It's
an
not
exclusive thing. It's not exclusive.
Everyone
so
is
anyone
welcome.
can welcome. Okay,
Everyone is welcome.
Because you may have somebody who's like nursing, like, oh, I want to
No, we
see
love
what
that.
photography is about.
Perfect.
But don't go into that dark room because you don't know what you're doing. There's chemicals in there.
They're safe
I'm
as long as
joking.
you don't drink them.
All right, cool. 'Cause it's pretty dope. Honestly, it's essentially the kind of the same thing here with the radio club. Okay, believe it or not, you have a lot of media arts majors that's here, but then you have people from all walks of life and different clubs that come in here as well, just kind of interested and want to see how it goes. So it's pretty dope. So it's not an exclusive thing, everyone. Okay, just want to clarify that. It does seem, I think, like any club, if you don't know too much about it, it can come off a little bit intimidating.
Absolutely.
Like even starting this in the beginning was a bit intimidating. I don't know how you felt when you first stepped into the radio club. It was a bit intimidating.
Not really. I'm starting to be. Once I came to this college, I'm starting to be more open. So I'm not as intimidated as I was like when I was in high school.
Awesome.
I'm
Perfect.
more open.
So I don't know if you ever had club members in the photography class kind of came in, not in class, of course, and also in the club that came in. I felt a little intimidated with the process because, the club is a little bit more hands-on. It's more, the class, it's a lot of book smarts, there's projects, assignments that you do, whereby the club is like really channeling all of that into something outside of classwork and really challenging yourself. Have you had any club members be like, oh, this is a little intimidating? And if they did, and if so, how did you help them cope with that process?
A lot of people come into photography club and class saying, feeling apologetic that they don't know how to take photographs, but that's what we're there to learn, right? So it's this wonderful thing. I'm like, don't worry, that's what we're here to learn. And it's like, there's no problems not knowing things. That's what the club and class are really about, right? So we, I think, want to acknowledge that we don't know everything, right? And that we're learning things all the time. And I'm a big advocate of lifelong learning. Many members of the club are returning students, right, that aren't your typical, quote unquote, typical age student that's
Right.
just out of high school or recently out of high school. So we have a lot of club members that are older than me, in fact,
Right.
and are still learning and come to me with questions about cameras or pictures or processes that they're working with in the dark room. I mean, really, I think it is just, we are a curious group and we try to figure it out. We
Right.
often don't know and we just figure it out together.
Nice.
That's an art approach too, right?
Yeah, it is. And the thing I find very interesting is that there's a saying that art imitates life imitates art. And I find it very interesting how the photography captures life. And capturing life also shows the artisticness that's within it. So I find it very intriguing in that instance. So photography, in a way, like, I never really feel as though I was good with photography. I feel as though it was good to take photos, but it was always something about it that seemed off. And a lot of people were like, well, sometimes the photos that you don't see as perfect is usually perfect. The ones that, it's a thing called imperfectly beautiful, and that goes on a lot. But yeah, was this something photography I would take up? Not entirely. Why? It's because of my schedule. It's something what I do. Yes, I mean, it's a hobby here and there. But I may take photos here on my phone, but I rarely take photos. But for those who do, I enjoy it because it's like a deep-rooted way of like a sense of self and awakening, to be able to see the beauty in something minute, or see the beauty in something outside of yourself, and to be able to capture that and to look back at it from time and just like have this whole portfolio, like, yeah, these are moments. So that's pretty intriguing.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So what do you take pictures of? What's on your phone?
Mainly my dogs. As of lately, little selfies here and there, some food that I made. But mainly my dogs and probably some assignments in class, so I remember to like take care of that. So honestly, I don't really take like photos for like a creative thingy. It's like I go out, but I rarely take photos either. I like to be present in the moment. So other than that, is I'm not really too big on photography for myself.
Yeah,
Like if I go to a museum, then I would check it out. I'm like, oh, that's nice. And that's one thing I will admit. I love seeing other people work. I'm just a huge and strong critic on my own. I was like, I love myself. I prop myself up, but at the same time, just like, yeah, you're not gonna put that
Your
on the
biggest
wall.
critic. Yeah,
Exactly.
And I do think the function of a camera as a phone as a camera, let's rewind that. Put it,
Yeah.
Sort of makes it like we do it in a way that is either for a particular use, like social media, right? And it takes you out of the moment because you're thinking about presenting what's going on, to this audience that is mediated through whatever app you're going to put it on.
Right.
And that's different than, I think, the approach that if you have a camera that's maybe an analog film camera, or even a digital SLR that's not so easy to sort of share, it changes your intention and presence as the photographer. And instead of thinking about, how am I going to present this, you're really observing. And it's really about sort of a sense of like heightened awareness that you're hopefully in as a photographer.
Nice.
And you could be in that state of heightened awareness as an interviewer, right? In a radio show or podcast, or as an artist drawing, or as a mathematician observing equations or thinking things through, right? So it's interesting that I don't think we achieve that state of heightened awareness when we're using our phones for photographing for, this likes, if you will.
You make a valid point, and I really love how you differentiate like having your camera on your phone and also having like analog camera or a DSLR, where you can actually just be present in that moment and really tap into your creativeness and not really thinking too much. Because I believe there's so much that happens with your phone, like you're using it to make calls, you're using it to text, you're using it to watch social media, you're taking photos with it, you're planning with it. So like everything is going on in your head when you're trying to take a photo with your phone, but when you just like separate it with like an analog, I can definitely see you can tap more into your creative juices. Now I'm kind of curious, Ethan, because I know you told me that you did most of your photography on your phone. Do you ever feel stuck? Do you ever feel as though you get a little brain fog when you're taking photos, or do you feel the creativity just kicks in?
I don't take photos often because I usually take photos of the scenery and whatnot. You know, the sun going through something, or a tree, or something beautiful. I don't. But you, sorry to get off topic, but you mentioned something about an analog camera. I'm one of those people that don't know what an analog is.
So it's a camera that exposes onto film and not a digital sensor. So you buy a roll of film and put it in the camera and take a...
So like the early stages of like video cameras, right? Like
So pre-video, right? So movie, right? Film. Actually, this is the same 35 millimeter film that is in movie cameras that, you know, went to the movie theaters that would go in projectors.
You see,
just shorter strips.
You saw you learn something.
Absolutely.
You know, and you're a photography club, you would learn that, you would know that too. But honestly, I think you deserve to at least experience taking a photo with an analog camera. Even digital, but analog camera at least once.
We have lots of cameras and lots of film. And if you want to come by a photography club Wednesdays, 3 to 5 p.m. in room S160, I'd be more than happy to hand a camera to you, show you how to take some pictures, send you outside, bring you back in, develop the film the next week.
How big is the camera? Like hand, like a...
Yeah, you know, you hold it with 2 hands.
Oh, he's probably thinking like the 1870s. The whole, we put the
put
hood on it, the hood on your head, and take a photo, just like.
Those are cool.
Those are crazy.
I was mostly thinking about like the Nintendo 64 type size. You know, like
the
size of like that.
Interesting.
Gen Zers love it.
Yeah,
Wow.
I love the differences.
Yeah, interesting. I'm glad that you kind of clarified that, and pretty dope. Once again, go ahead and shout out the club location and the days where you meet up.
So Photography Club meets in the S building, room 160, which is the photography classroom and darkroom. We meet on currently this semester, and hopefully next semester, if this is coming out next semester as rebroadcast, Wednesdays, 3 to 5 p.m.
Okay. In the S building.
S room 160.
Room 160, and Wednesdays and
3 to 5 p.m.
3 to 5 p.m. Okay, you heard it here first. Ethan, I don't know, man. You go there, learn something,
welcome.
experience. You know, because you asked the question, so obviously it's something that you're interested in. You want to know a little bit more about it. So this is your chance to go ahead and explore. Look, you never know. You may take even better photos.
And
not saying that you don't. I haven't seen your work, but I'm just saying.
You know, is this a perfect picture? But it's beautiful in a way.
It is. It would be better if it was in color, you know?
Interesting.
See, that's the thing. There's a beauty in the black and white.
Interesting.
I guess mystery, because honestly, I was about to ask, when was this photo taken?
So when is this photo taken? Is there information on that? No. Unknown. No date.
I can guarantee you that is not like in like the 1800s, the
Obviously
1950s. You probably think.
Figure out the car. It's like a 1990s, 2010s.
Exactly. You see a modern car there.
2010. I was actually thinking about that because of the way it's filmed. The location, though, looks kind of familiar.
It's definitely on campus.
Yeah, because I know there was a cat roaming around where the parking lot is. I knew there was
over there by the
cat.
beach. Yeah, it's still over there, like black and brown, like a brown, black.
It was like an orange one.
There's a Garfield out there too. Wow.
Wait, 1, 2 there. How many cats are there?
I don't know, the one I seen was black and brown striped, and it's in the back now. But now you're saying there's a whole Garfield running around on
There's
campus.
a lot of cats on campus.
I haven't seen it in a while, but...
Just started a cat club.
Wait, there's a cat club?
No, I'm just joking. But yeah, that's pretty dope. Quick question: do you like vintage? You like vintage clothing, vintage?
I mean, I don't mind. I'm not a big fashion guy, so vintage clothing. Sure, I don't mind.
Are you like more modern? You like more modern type of things?
It doesn't matter to me as long as it's comfortable,
Now I was just kind of curious because you asked the black and white photo. Will you be opposed to taking black and white photos?
I don't mind, but I'm more of a color guy because you can actually see the details of it. No, like nothing wrong with black and white, but with color you can see the detail. And
I don't disagree, and I agree that there's place for both actually, and we do both, right? We have digital printers where we print color. These days we have digital cameras and digital printers and computers. some people like to shoot color film and then bring it in, scan it, and print it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And yeah, color really does have, when you print in color, there's more there. There's more information there. Sometimes it distracts if you want to just emphasize a form, maybe just tonality. Right?
Yeah.
It just draws you in. Maybe if this were green over here, and you get
There'd be a lot
distracted.
happening, exactly. Because when I was in, I went to Duke Ellington School of Arts in D.C. I went there I tried to get in for music. The department was full, so I ended up getting in for visual arts instead. And I learned a lot of artistic terms there, and one of it is the focal point. And I find very interesting what you said about how if it was like a bunch of color, you would kind of get lost in the sauce, trying to figure out the focal point, whereby if it's neutral, black and white, or a silhouette, you can kind of pinpoint what the focal point is, and you can kind of have your own interpretation of what that picture may feel like. I think the misconception when it comes to black and white photos, or even like silent films, Scott Joplin, films like that, a lot of people kind of feel like it's a little depressing, it's a little alluring, a little gothic, just like, so they don't really get the feel. That's how you feel?
Not really.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, the thing is, there's a beauty within it because it allows you to really pinpoint like what matters most, or it can switch your perspective and you can have your own different takeaway. So for instance, I look at that photo there and I clearly see, I get a feel of independence, independence in a busy world, independence in a world where I may not fit in, because you see the cat standing there and it's like in a parking lot, desolate, and you have these two big cars. It's like, even though I can't drive these cars, even though these cars can run me over or whatever the case may be, I know this car is not meant for me, I can still stand strong by myself. And that one little thing, the minute I look at that picture, the first thing I see is the cat. The cat is the focal point. And I find it very ironic because you have these two big black cars right on the side of the picture, but the main thing that stand out is the smallest thing, which is the cat. And that's for me, that's my interpretation from it. Somebody else may be different. Somebody else may see something else. So I find it very interesting when it comes to black and white. Now, if it was in color, there'd probably be a lot happening. I'd probably get a different focal point, but to each their own.
I feel like when I look at this photo, the more I look at it, the more I admire it. But right now, I'm getting at this looks like an early 2010 type of photo with the car and with the black and white. Definitely 2010. But I feel like when I more look at it, I feel like this could be framed or something like that, because how unique it is with the cat and car. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. See how art can just bring everyone together. Have great conversations. You're talking about the photography club right here on the radio club, and just kind of like intertwining a shared love for art.
Absolutely.
Pretty nice. I love it. So, well, for us, everything, this has been a wonderful talk. And once again, Professor Professor Mintz, can you go ahead and tell everyone one last time where they can find the radio club, and go ahead and give them a brief little insight as far as the things you're going to be doing? Are you going to be taking trips? And, just let everyone know about the club and where they can find you and get your information if need be.
My classroom and the photography club are both S building, room 160. The club is meeting Wednesdays, 3 to 5 p.m., but I'm there before. In the morning, in the afternoon, we have class there. Pop in. If the door's open, come say hello.
Yes.
And if the door's closed, just say, get out of here.
Or just kick it and wait until, you show up. But yeah, you're here, everyone. So, S Building, room 160, Wednesdays. Come through. Also, Ethan, just how do you feel?
I feel great. This is my first time, so definitely a good experience.
Great. This is your first time. Hey, we're going to go ahead and give you a round of applause. Okay, so we have two first-timers in the building. Okay, awesome. So, Professor Tommy, it's been a pleasure. It's been a delight. Thank you so much for sharing your insight on not just photography, but yourself as well. Also the artwork and also the club, photography club. It's been pretty amazing. Thank you so much. And Ethan, thank you so much for coming on the show. It's your first time.
Yes, it is.
It's perfect. I'm glad that it was a breeze, nice little comfortable, relaxed conversation.
Indeed.
Okay, cool. And I'm your host, Vic-Tor, and this concludes our show right here on WKRB 90.3 FM. It's a wrap, everyone. Thanks again. Another round of applause. Woo!
Later.
Later.
Sounded
Wow.
good.
Wow.
Yeah.